1635 to 41, New England. Scene 1 is all about Nicholas Frost, a poacher turned gamekeeper from Tiverton in Devon. Frost was a ne'er-do-well whose misdemeanours became so frequent that he decided to start afresh in Massachusetts. So he emigrated and began a new life at Pascagoula. There he turned over a new leaf because no one knew his background, and he conned the local people at Saco to appoint him as constable to keep the peace. This he did, as you can see, putting offenders in the clink and meting out punishments such as locking offenders into the stocks and the pillory. Scene 2. Religious bigotry is rife among the clergy in New England, who resort to deporting anyone they think is preaching the Bible message in the wrong way. One man they pick on is the Reverend Roger Williams, a Cambridge graduate, who escapes by fleeing to Rhode Island, to be joined later by another deportee preacher, Anne Hutchinson, with her family. Williams will live for 50 years in America, but Anne Hutchinson will be murdered by the Native Americans in 1643. Scene 3, top picture. Here's another most interesting Cambridge migrant, the Reverend John Eliot, a graduate of Jesus College, whose gatehouse is shown. Eliot is famous for learning the Indian language, then preaching to them in their own tongue, before also translating the Bible and printing it. The main picture shows the attack on the white settlers by the Pequot tribe, which is beaten off with the help of the friendly one, the Narragansetts. Scene 4. Such is the development in Massachusetts that the settlers decide to create a college there. Firstly, they think of calling it Newtown, then Cambridge. But when rich John Harvard arrives in the colony with his wealth and library, then suddenly is taken fatally ill, he leaves money to the new institution, so they name it Harvard. Scene 5. Now immigration to Massachusetts really expands, and one of its most colourful newcomers is Elizabeth Pole from Taunton in Somerset, who buys 45 acres of land and founds a town which, unsurprisingly, she calls Taunton. This panel was stitched by the Exeter New World Tapestry team led by Joan Roncarelli. The first stitch was created in my own house on October the 3rd, 1994, by Lady Jane Renfrew, principal of Lucy Cavendish College in Cambridge. Second stitch was made in my studio 2 days later by Peter Grubb, the acting master of Magdalen College, Cambridge. The third stitch was made on October the 14th in the Mayor's Parlour in Tiverton in Devon by the Mayor, Councillor Mary de la Mahotier. The last stitch was made by Nigel Mansell, the champion racing driver in his golf club at Woodbury near Exeter on the 9th of September 1997. The heraldic shield to note here is that of Nathaniel Eaton. Eaton was the first head of Harvard, but his tenure was, very thankfully, brief, for, as I've shown, he cruelly beat his servant with a club and starved the students of food. Soon he was kicked out and replaced by another Cambridge graduate, the Reverend Henry Dunster. The description of one of the herbs shown this time comes from Light's Herbal. It comments on dark melon and says, "The whole top with its pleasant yellow flowers showeth like a wax candle or taper cunningly wrought."